Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today the New York Knicks are hiring Mike Brown as their next head coach. I'd love to see this hire for the New York Knicks as Mike Brown is coming in to be the new head coach for the New York Knicks. This was the guy that was eyed as the favorite. Was fired mid-season by Sacramento after a rough start to the season, 13-18 start. But it was something that, it seems like some guys didn't want to happen. It seemed like the firing really upset Darren Fox, and which led to him being traded in February at the trade deadline. But it was a culture shift for this Kings team in the first two seasons of Mike Brown's season. I know that you saw, a really bad season this year for the Kings with Mike Brown, and he didn't do the best job this year, but they were not a playoff team at all. They were, before Mike Brown came in, they were not even close to a playoff team. And they had a huge playoff drought. And he came in the 2022-23 season, and it was a culture shift. It really was. And, 2022-23 season, you see him come in, they go to 48 wins. 48 wins, and he wins Coach of the Year in the 2023 season. Second time he's done that. He did it in 2009 with the Cavaliers. But wins Coach of the Year, 48 wins. They're back in the playoffs. Their playoff drought ended. The next season was a tiny bit worse. 46 and 36. So the wins went down by 2. So just went down a little bit. And, the one thing I look at is the crazy thing was, even though their wins went down by 2, you compare the 2022-23 season, the 2023-24 season, even though the wins went down by 2, they were like the 3 seed in the 2022-23 season. They were the 3 seed, and they were really dominant in the Western Conference. And the next season you're minus 2 wins and you're the 7 or 8 seed. That shows you how stacked the Western Conference was. The Western Conference, I think, got a little bit better in the 2023-24 season than it was in the 2022-23 season. But it's just crazy how it shows, like, one year you're at 48 wins and you're the 3 seed, and the next year you're at 46, which is only minus 2 from this year before, and you're the 7 or 8 seed. They had to fight in the play-in. I think they were the 8 seed. I'm not 100% sure, but they were the 8 or 9 seed, I think. But yeah. And then, so these last 3 seasons with Sacramento, 107 and 88. But then you could also go back and see what he did with Cleveland. 305 and 187 in 6 seasons with the Cavs. In those seasons with the Cavs, the team had 2 60-win seasons, 66 and 16 in the 2008-9 season. He won head coach of the year that year. 61 and 21 in 2009, 2010. Helped them go to the NBA championship. Obviously LeBron was a big part of that when they went to the finals and got swept by the Spurs. But Mike Brown was their coach, and he did a great job coaching for that team. So this is a guy, and I think you look at this for the Knicks, this is a guy that is great with, coaching in the playoffs. He has experience coaching in the playoffs, helping the Cavs with the, going to the playoffs, going to the playoffs multiple times. Eastern Conference champions in the 2006-7 season, 2008-9 season, 2009-10 season. They were 60-win teams there. So they were just. They were dominant, and he had a lot of experience coaching in the playoffs. But then you go and look at what he did with the Warriors, the experience he had coaching in the playoffs in there. I look at the 2016-17 season. Who coached them? Who was their head coach for most of the season? Mike Brown. Most of the postseason, Mike Brown was their head coach. Steve Kerr had a back issue. He returned in the NBA Finals, so Brown didn't really coach in the NBA Finals. But the first, second, and East and Western Conference final rounds, Mike Brown was their coach because Kerr could not be on the bench. And so he was a big part of the Warriors' 2016-17 championship run, and then being the lead assistant for the Warriors championship in the 17-18 season or the 21-22 season. So he has a lot of experience when it comes to being around championships, whether it's going to the NBA Finals with the Cavs, being at the head coach level, coaching the Warriors for most of their 2016-17 run outside the NBA Finals, or being around NBA championships of 17-18 or 21-22 as an assistant. I love this hire for the Knicks. I really do. Here's also a guy who, can use this is something that you didn't have with Tom Thibodeau, likes to use his bench. Likes to use the depth on his team. And so that is one thing I'm interested to see, which is something the Knicks did not have before. Let me know your thoughts on the hire for the New York Knicks in the comment section, and peace out.